Night Crew. I'm Carlton. This is Jay Shine, and that's Zach. We're the Night Crew, coming with episode 2, the PlayStation 5 versus the Xbox Series X.
Wow! I think this is easy to say. It goes without saying. Obviously, PlayStation won this battle again. But as to why they won this battle again, that needs to be talked about.
True.
I, for one, just as the owner of the 5, can say right off the bat, I've been stressing this ever since I touched the console. Controller. The haptic feedback and whatever the trigger effects in that controller is a game changer. Whatever you feel in that thing, you will not be getting with that Xbox. It just changes the game. Like, let's say you got Call of Duty. You're feeling the whole battle in that controller. Like, you're feeling the gunshots hit you, like the bullets hit you. You're feeling your gun shoot the bullets. And if you have a gun that's really heavy or something like that, you're gonna feel the weight of the gun.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Wow.
It's crazy.
So what's the best game you played so far on it?
Best game I've played so far. I'm not gonna say what I've played most because it's definitely not the best game on there. But the best one I played so far is the Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Okay.
That game just has so much going for it, and it's better than the first one that came out for the PlayStation 4.
Okay.
It just has it like that.
So what do you like about the game?
Action is on point. I like the fact that when a game has it to where you can actually upgrade your character and stuff like that, give them different abilities and everything like that. That's always solid. But just the fact that I like Miles, I like his character.
True.
And then it's a break from the usual Peter Parker. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with Peter Parker. It's just, you always know him as Spider-Man. And having Miles Morales is kind of a different change from that. Okay. And obviously, it's you got to enjoy Miles Morales because you have to enjoy the Into the Spider-Verse movie because that was too good of a movie.
That was a great movie.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
That's
easy. All right.
Oh, I don't own one, so
you don't gotta own one to have an opinion on it.
I mean, I don't feel like I have an opinion because the only person I'm watching that playing it right now is you. So that's basically, I don't own one. You the only person that I know that has one.
True.
I'm standing in line like everybody else on Black Friday. Pray God I get one. And I probably won't.
If you get there early enough, you might.
Yeah. I probably won't.
Because those things are selling. Yeah. They're really selling. Yeah. I'm honestly really surprised at how well they're selling in comparison to their counterpart being the Xbox.
Yeah.
It's such a sad fate to see, especially from them coming from such a pinnacle at being the Xbox 360. Because the Xbox 360 was perfection. Yeah. Easy to use interface. Controller was probably one of the best controllers of all time. Yeah. As far as like the overall feel versus like, all hands. Button layout and everything was top notch, but then once they went to the Xbox One, they just like, let's just throw everything good that we've done into the trash and let's make it a Netflix box. Yeah. With a few games. Not just any games, but the same games we've been coming out with for years. And not just that, that's not even the icing on the cake. We're not gonna really make any of these games any better. Yeah. We're going to make the stories even more bland, non-memorable. We're just going to put out titles that we know people will buy because they're big fans of this certain game. And we're just going to ride that while PlayStation's going to come and sweep us out from under our feet. Because that's exactly what the PlayStation 4 did. Back when both the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One first got released, I had the opportunity to be able to play both of them back when they first got released, so I could really get a feel for both of them from the get-go. And having just transitioned from Xbox 360, the Xbox was what I was most comfortable with, because the Xbox 360 had just done me so well. So many great memories. Shout out to Black Ops 1. And 2K 11 through 13, because everything after it was trash.
I feel that.
I liked it, but it was confusing. Like the interface, I couldn't find where the games were half the time. I just couldn't really figure out exactly what was going on, and it was just a little bit too much to really process. It wasn't simplified enough.
Yeah.
Because it was using Windows to a certain extent, but it was way too complicated for what it needed to be.
Yeah.
While the PlayStation came with a very, very simplified interface where all of your games that you had installed were set up right there for you to be able to see, click on. Everything was easy to get to and easy to find. You didn't have to go through a whole bunch of different menus just to figure out what your games were and what games you had installed. Everything was just right there for you, which made it a lot easier for a lot of newcomers to even console, because a lot of the console people are casual gamers. It made it a lot easier for casual people to still be playing casually and not have to be frustrated with trying to find the game that they just downloaded just to be able to play it. And then the PlayStation upgraded from their minuscule PlayStation 3 controllers to the DualShock 4s, were probably almost on par with the Xbox 360 controllers because just of the way that they feel. Although, because I have big hands, I had to get the analog extenders, but that was about it. But other than that, it was great. And then throughout that entire race, they were going tit for tat a little bit, coming out with some different games. And then the last couple years hit, and PlayStation just unrolled masterpiece after masterpiece after masterpiece that were exclusives.
Yeah.
And the one thing that casual gamers want are games. They want to play good games that are going to be memorable and have a lot of replayability. They don't want another Halo that is just another Halo. They don't want another Gears, it's just another Gears.
Yeah.
They want Spider. What was it? What was the name? Spider-Man. Miles Morales, the last Spider-Man that just came out. God of War. The Last of Us, both 1 and 2. Although 2 was it had a lot to live up to.
Yeah.
It was a good game, but it had a lot to live up to.
You gotta think about it. It had stuff on the 4, even Until Dawn and something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they just had it.
They had Bloodborne, a bunch of different other games that just shook the gaming world. Near Armada, games that were not just graphically pleasing, but pleasing to play and worth spending $60 on.
Mm-hmm.
Although I haven't spent that much money on a game in a while, having transitioned from console to PC.
Yeah.
But still looking back, the PlayStation 4 was an absolute great buy. Even though I didn't play all of the exclusives, having the option to play great exclusives is exactly what people want. And they don't want to be left out, because you don't want to be getting an Xbox just because that's all you've ever got. You had the original Xbox, then you went to the 360, then you went to the One, because there was they were going back as far as the competition went. But then once it started to hit where there's a lot more people playing gaming, and there's a lot more people gaming casually. There's going to be a need for games that people are going to want to play.
Yeah.
Of course, you're gonna have your AAA titles like Call of Duty, Battlefield, 2K, FIFA, Madden. People are gonna get those on all across the board. Yeah. But you have to have your exclusives. One of my friends was talking about how Xbox had recently bought out Bethesda, and although it's like, it's a great company to have bought out, but at the same time, like his thing was like, they'll fix like their old games. It was like nobody like in comparison to the games that are coming out now, games that are getting remastered, that are exclusives. You're going to nobody's gonna that want to come back to a game that flopped. Mm-hmm. Nobody's going back to Anthem. Anthem said it was gonna be a Destiny killer.
Yes.
And Destiny is still out and about doing its thing. I want to say trending on Twitch, but that's not the same thing. But like they're getting a lot of views, and Anthem is nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Although it was a graphically very pleasing game, it had a lot of potential. It flopped.
It did.
Even if they decide to try to fix it, the damage is done.
Yeah.
So with that being said, with all of these games of the PlayStation 5 is just rolling out, it's looking very, very bad for the Xbox. And for the first time, I don't even know anybody that's got the Xbox to ask how the Xbox is.
Yeah.
Like, at least when the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One came out, it was even on both sides, and I myself had the ability to play both to give my own opinion on it. But although the Xbox is stronger, what people want is the games to be able to play. Because if you're playing on a console, you're not going to be really getting to a certain extent, the best out of the game that you could be getting, like graphically and performance wise. But when you're playing, like when you're getting the same as everybody else, which is exactly what the consoles are for, you need to be able to have games that people are going to want to play, because it's almost no reason for you to have a strong system that there's no games on it that are going to really push the system to its limit and like you really get like everything that you're getting out of it. It's like having a Bugatti, but you don't have your driver's license. True. You're not gonna legally. You're not gonna get anything out of that car that you would want to be getting. So it would make no sense for you to buy it if you're not gonna really be able to get everything out of it that you're supposed to be getting it. So to all the Xbox fans out there, you're just gonna have to take this L. It is what it is.
Yeah. I'm not gonna sit here and rag on the Xbox, because obviously I've been the Xbox guy since the original Xbox. And
shout out to the 360.
Yeah, I was there from the original Xbox all the way down to that the Xbox One we've had for the last couple of years. But seeing the 5 and everything like that, I had to say enough is enough. There's just nothing going for the Xbox that I personally enjoy. Don't get me wrong, like stuff like the Game Pass, I did love the Game Pass. That was a nice concept. Yeah. That went down perfect. And then combining that with Xbox Live Gold and making the Ultimate Pass, that was a good idea. That I'm probably going to miss because it was a good concept, gave a lot of games, but there's just not enough in terms of exclusives to keep me over there. And I had to make that move. But it's just like going off of what you were saying with the power and with no games. The Nintendo Switch is an example of something that showed us that the games mean a lot. People buy that Nintendo Switch because of the games. Obviously, the Switch doesn't compare in power at all to the new like PlayStation 5 and Series X, but people are still buying it. So, you got anything to say, Carlton?
I just want to play one. I just really want to play it, just see how it plays. I'm down to play both of them, but we have found people with the Xbox.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I have not met one person who said they have. But everybody's waiting on the 5. And last time I checked, the lowest bidding was still like $880.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It is, and the highest I think I seen was up to 3,000.
Oh, also for those that are watching, if you're getting one of these newer gen consoles and you really want to get the most out of the console, you're going to have to invest in probably a monitor. Because your 4K TV is not going to be able to perform under the stress that gaming console is going to put on it.
Yeah.
The Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, they were locked at 60 frames per second, so your 4K TV would do just fine and you wouldn't really be able to tell the difference. But now it is time for you to break the bank once more, and you're going to have to get you a relatively decent gaming monitor for you to really be able to tell the difference out of it. Because if you don't, you're not going to tell the difference, and you're going to be thinking that you just wasted your money and you could have just still been playing your last gen console. When that's not 100% the case, you just need to fork over a couple $100 more to get you something to where you can really be able to see those frames that you're missing.
And with that, if you plan on getting a PlayStation 5, do not just get the console and be content with that, because you got a lot more money to put out than that. Take that from me. That's some money. You got, if you want to play with somebody within your house, you gotta buy another controller. That's a good $70.
$70?
Yes. Not to mention, you got it. The big thing about the PlayStation, the games, those are now $70 each. We've got them going up $10. And then if you want any accessories, don't forget about that, because if you want a headset, you're gonna be paying some money for that. Some of the PlayStation 4 headsets are supported for the 5, so if you got one, you're probably good. But if you want something new, you might be dropping a quick 100. So, yeah, getting the console is only the beginning of the battle.
So how much did you pay for all of it together? Or give us a strong estimate.
What have I got? Okay, well, I saved myself because I traded in my PlayStation 4.
Okay.
So I got, I was able to get 3 games off of that.
Smart man.
Yeah, because that would have really broke the bank. I haven't gotten a headset yet. I'm just doing some earbuds right now. So the earbuds I got from work, so those are like $10. They are not good though by any means. So I want the upgrade.
I already know.
But that's what I've done so far. I want to get Godfall today, and I still got leftover credit, so I'm good. So I've just found a way to finesse and get myself some games.
Okay.
So, but otherwise, yeah, that's gonna come straight out the pocket.
Let me ask you this another question.
Okay.
What game are you waiting for to come out for PlayStation? Haven't been released yet.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, that Harry Potter. Yeah, that Harry Potter. Yeah.
I don't even have a PlayStation right now. I don't really feel like I'm gonna get one anytime in the near future. But I can honestly say that whenever Harry Potter comes out, I'm going to have to play it. Unless it is across all systems, then I won't have to go and spend $500 or more just to play one specific game.
Yeah.
But if it's anything, it's that. Or if they even give me the slightest inclination that a Midnight Club Dub Edition 3 is getting remastered, I will fork over as much money as necessary so I can cop myself one so I can play that.
Yes. I agree with that. That Harry Potter, I haven't even really been much with Harry Potter. That's more Tiff's forte than mine.
Right.
But I'm not even going to sit here and lie. That game is looking pretty solid. Okay. Even if she just wants to get it for herself, or I get it for her, and then I just let her play it, and then I maybe hop on the sticks for a little bit to play it myself. Then
for
that,
a little bit.
or if I end up getting locked into it. But like, that game is looking pretty solid.
True.
I have high expectations for that.
Yeah.
I have really, really high expectations for that. Because it has been a very, very long time since the last Harry Potter game came out. And especially with it not being revolving around Harry Potter himself, with it being character customization, I'm expecting a hell of a lot out of that game.
Yeah.
And I will be the first to rag on it if it does not meet expectations. Character customization needs to tailor all skin tones and all hairstyles. I'm sick and tired of having just cornrows or just a normal cut. That's not the only types of hairstyles that are out there.
True. Speaking of, since we're talking about hairstyles at the moment, I need to get on 2K. The dreads they have on that game are awful. They literally look like string.
And that is disappointing because if they're pandering to their audience, that should be the main thing. Like, cause like, I hate to say it like this, but to be honest, mainly black people play 2K. Of course, like, other people play 2K, but mainly black people play 2K. I don't care what anybody says. With that being said, all y'all have to do is make sure that y'all are taking care of y'all's audience. It's so simple. Like, Madden's had it together forever, and you can't even really see 90% of their body because it's covered like in all of their equipment and pads and everything. Mm-hmm. All you have to do is just like, it's not hard.
Yeah.
If Madden in 2007 can have some realistic looking dreads, it is 2020, 2021. I expect better. I don't even have the game.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's like they added new hairstyles and everything, but then you go back to the dreads. They're back from PlayStation 4/Xbox One 2K, and they're still not moving. We got stiff hair still, and it's 2020. These need to be moving by now. They got one hairstyle, and it's like one hairstyle that moves like completely, like even if you're just walking in the city or something like that, they move. But we still got dreads that are still sitting there. Like, my stuff is moving. They need to be moving in that game for sure.
There's no way. I just don't understand that. And I try not to get into 2K too much because I have a whole list of things I want them to fix.
Exactly.
Because 2K is a terrible game.
Damn.
It is a terrible game. And it is not, before people try to jump into the comments, it's not because I'm bad at the game. No, I've been playing games forever. I understand how the game works. I understand that it is a game and people are taking advantage of the lack of effort put into making it an actual basketball game. People are taking advantage of animations. They're not playing real basketball. They're taking advantage of the animations that they know are unstoppable. And that is all 2K is. Every time you go into the court, people are using metas. Metas as far as like they're going down a strict road from it being like, open customization to where it's more of a player tailored towards your specific standards and your specific play style that fits and that is cohesive in a team, versus how 2K is, where this is how you need to build your character in order to win. That's not how basketball is.
Yeah.
That's not how the NBA is. There's a bunch of different players with a bunch of different played styles that are put on to teams and forced to mesh together, and if they don't mesh together because they're not playing like a team, then they're not going to win.
Exactly.
All of the teams that have won championships is because they've played better as a team. Even when KD went over to the Warriors, they were still averaging almost their same numbers. Although KD put them up 20 to 30 extra points depending on his game.
Yeah.
But 2K is absolutely terrible because they'll put in more what is the way I want to what is what I want to call it, like animations that look cool, layups that are super fancy, dunks that are super fancy, crossovers and hesitation moves and dribble moves that are super fancy, versus it being more like a basketball game. Yeah. And of course, to a certain extent, when you go into the my court and everybody's using their my players, they're living out their hoop dreams. There's nobody on 2K that's just playing 2K because it's a basketball game. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on the my court. Yeah. Once you go on to the park, or you go to the rec center, or you go to the pro-am, you are living out a hoop dream, and it is no longer a simulation, is an arcade.
That's true. We gotta get you.
Y'all got deep in that one.
Yeah, because like I feel that strongly because I know 2K can be 2K could be perfect.
Right.
Both even with their transactions, it can be their what are they called? Microtransactions. Yeah.
Okay.
Even with the microtransactions still in the game, it can be a perfect basketball game. But because the 2K consumers are refusing to take their liberty as the consumer to get the game fixed and continuing to put money into 2K's pocket without them fixing the game and the problems within the game. Shout out to all of you 2K YouTubers that ride 2K's dick all day long. Y'all know it's a bad game, but y'all hype it up for the views. Y'all know all of the problems that are wrong with that game, but yet y'all hype it up. That is why that game will never be fixed and will never be good.
I feel that. You good?
I'm good. No, cause like I haven't really just got into 2K.
No,
I think when I did try to do the little thing, I started off in the like at a rec center, then I had to go to the university. Then I went to some rinky-dink university. And then like the team, they had me almost like 48 in the league. And I was on average like 8 points a game. So I knew I wasn't going nowhere. But then they kept lying to me saying I had all these teams looking at me. But then by like 2 hours later, I had like 48 teams looking for me. I was average 12 points a game, ain't nobody looking at me. But yeah, I agree with what Zach's saying. A lot of these games really need to be fixed. Like, just with making better characters, making better decisions on some of these games. Stop just trying to hype it up. Just to get some sales and some views. Because that's how I feel about a lot of games right now.
That's how I feel like about a lot of YouTubers. They be hyping the shit out of games just for the views. Like, don't do that. Like, I've been playing Destiny since it first launched, like day one. I will talk all the shit about that game because that game is shit too. There's so many things wrong with it, but I am loyal to it because I do see that they're like, especially after they separated from Activision and now it's just Bungie, and they're listening to their community and they're bringing things back and they're making things better. So I'm appreciative of progress, and that's why I continue to play it. Although it's not perfect, it's a work in progress. And a good example of that is Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six Siege should not have lasted as long as it has, but it has because they've listened to the community and they fixed problems that needed to be fixed. That's why it has its own pro gaming league. There's a whole bunch of different streamers. Even Shroud plays it and stuff. And like it's a good game because they fixed it. It's not an easy game to get into, but because they continue to fix its problems and they nip things in the bud, that's how you continue to progress and get more and more people to come, versus any of these other games. And then back to 2K. I have to ask, Jay Sean. Yes. Out of all of the times that you played, like when, especially when you're just starting out, is it just frustrating to just me, or is it I'm not the only one that thinks it's frustrating to come into the, like, I understand you have to build up your my player and everything, but they shouldn't make it to where you're shooting like you're a third grader out there.
That's true.
It's like you're a college prospect going up into the NBA. You didn't make it to any college team not making shots. Yeah. Missing wide open layups. That's really unrealistic. Yeah. You didn't even make your high school team doing stuff like that. There's no way that you can expect me to believe that that's why I feel like none of the people that work and do things for 2K have ever played basketball a day in their life.
A lot of them have probably never been on court.
Because there's some they've got people that come in and in the bodysuits to work on all of the animations and everything. But at the same time, there is no way that you can make me believe that some of the things that go on in 2K are produced by people that have actually played the game before.
Yeah. I don't feel like with that. Yeah, what you were saying with the whole not being able to shoot whatsoever, even though you're a college prospect. I never understood their concept of starting you at such a low overall.
Yeah.
Like, if you're on this kind of level that they're making you seem to be, then you should actually be able to play like that level without having to upgrade your player to that level with VC.
Yeah.
And more times than not, how it ends up going is these people buy their VC or take whatever VC they get from a pre-order and just upgrade him all the way up to like an 85 overall anyway.
Right.
So then that takes out the whole thing of my career, because you're not grinding for anything but the badges, and then like you're not grinding your overall. It's just like the badges, and then you're done with it, and then you're just playing in the park.
Yeah, and that's it. You're playing in the park, the pro-am, the rec, and it's just like, and it just doesn't make any sense. Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't know any college player that has had, and more specifically, the 3 and up, because you're not like a power forward and a center. Until the league advanced to what it is today, back in like the earlier 2000s, where you had like true centers, true small forwards, true power forwards playing down low, getting aggressive and playing with the body and everything. They weren't really shooting all that many shots unless it was high quality shots. Mm-hmm. And what would be more understanding for me is if I missed a shot like before, like, you know, you got into the league, like, you know, you're playing like your college days. Yeah. If it was a well contested shot, that makes all the difference. Mm-hmm. If I'm building essentially a drop dead shooter from like either mid range or deep, if he's to a certain extent a good shooter is a good shooter, even with that hand up in his face, that's going in. Yeah. There's been plenty of times where plenty of college players have put that are great defenders have put their hands up in the faces of great shooters, and they've had to suffer the consequences of getting like embarrassed. Mm-hmm. I mean, but like at the same time, they're playing good defense, so like, I mean, they've done their part. But even in college, there's shooters that are just lights out. Yeah. I remember watching what is his name? Austin Rivers, when he was playing UNC in UNC. Mm-hmm. And he closed out the game because he's a good shooter. He wasn't like an NBA all-star shooter, but for the collegiate level, he was above most of them as far as being able for them to be able to defend him. Yeah. And he ended up closing out the game with a buzzer beater that still hurts me to this day. Because then Doc Rivers just walks down the bleachers waving his hand because his son just hit the shot. But that's besides the point. I digress. He hits the shot. There's no way that like that's disrespectful to college players. Because like college players are playing their ass off to get into the NBA just so that they can that can be their job, and then to a certain extent they don't almost have to take it as seriously. Mm-hmm. Unless you're like, you know, like KD or something, then you have to take it seriously because you're changing the game. But like, if you're just like, you know, to a certain extent, not average, because anybody that makes it to the NBA is an outstanding basketball player. Yeah. I can't take that away from them at all. You might not be a superstar, but you're still an NBA player. You're not getting there by being trash. True. You might not necessarily like score 20, 30 points a game, but you're not taking enough shots to where you're needing to average over 12 points. Like if you're a true point guard in in college, I wouldn't be expecting you to make over 25 points a game. Mm-hmm. So if you're averaging 18 points, but you've got like you're averaging 12 to almost 15 assists, like almost 9 or something steals. You're still doing your part, but like for 2K to like literally make you suffer unless you buy VC is like really ridiculous.
Yeah. So going back to the 5 and the Xbox, how do you guys feel that the releases for these two went? Unprofessional.
Unprofessional. Like, I understand what everything was going on with the world with coronavirus. So I was like reading articles that they had so many made, but then they stopped. You know, in the working process because a couple workers got sick and stuff like that. But it was really unprofessional. Then when they got some in, a lot of the other places could not handle the overwhelm of it, and they knew it was going to be a big release. Especially when they was like doing the 2-hour thing at Walmart. I heard people was like getting them in the cart, and then as soon as time to check out, sold out.
Yeah.
I heard some people, they spent the whole day on trying to just get onto the Walmart webpage.
Yeah.
Unprofessional.
What? Yeah, I have to say these, even back from the pre-orders back in September, things were not good.
Yeah.
I'd say out of the pre-orders, the Xbox was probably worse than PlayStation, just because they let everybody know of their set date for the pre-orders, and then the bots went wild.
Yeah.
And with the PlayStation, they did screw up on theirs too, because they said, hey, it's going to be releasing on this day. Next thing you know, you got people at GameStop the day before pre-ordering their PlayStation and everything, because that's how one of my friends got it. And then I had to get lucky on Amazon that same night and put my order in ASAP. No discussion about it. Just go ahead and put that order in.
Yeah, I went through our text message and I seen that. I like, damn.
And then leading up to the actual releases themselves, what Walmart tried to do was good, but definitely didn't pan out how it should have. I don't know. Because they tried to stop the bots, but they just couldn't handle all of that traffic coming in, because they dropped it 4 times that one day, like to get other people pre-orders, but the website just kept crashing every single time they put it up. It was rough.
I would hate it to see if they just brought them into the stores that day and then did that.
True.
Do you probably have people been standing in that line for hours?
Yeah.
It's probably been a Black Friday sale all over.
Yeah.
I mean, but
I really probably would rather did that.
as controversial as it is, yeah, I would have rather them just put them in the stores, because, like, you know, bots are serious.
Yes.
Bots are real.
Yes.
They're everywhere. Like, you just can't. And especially for as a hot commodity as a new release for a system, and then especially because the PlayStation, they've gone above and beyond. Yeah. They've done everything that is necessary. It's like, although like I said previously, it's like, you know, it might not be as strong as the Xbox. It's stronger than the 4, and they're bringing out better games. That is literally all that anybody could ask for. The controller, like you said, feels great. The feedback from the trigger, the active feedback, that's revolutionary.
Yes.
It would have been better for them to just bring them out in stores, because at least you have the opportunity. You have a more reasonable opportunity than trying to go up against a bot. Because bots are gonna bot, and it's gonna be over with.
Yeah.
But if you, then at that point, then it'll just come down to being the early bird gets the worm.
Yeah.
And nobody can like. Of course, you can be disappointed you didn't get there early enough, but somebody was just there earlier.
Yeah.
It wasn't that, like, you know, you just got, like, you know, the short end of the stick. It's like, you know, if they're saying that, like, you know, you gotta, like, they're gonna be doing pre-orders for the PlayStation at Walmart at 12 o'clock p.m. on Saturday, and people have been sitting out there since Friday. They wanted it more than you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then you also gotta realize with every Walmart, there's a GameStop. If you think about that, so you and 2 other people when y'all go in GameStop, when y'all go to Walmart, whoever can get one and got one, tell them come on with the money.
And especially with things being the way that they are with
the virus.
Not even just the virus, but like, you know, having Cash App, Venmo, Apple Pay. You could have been in 2 different places, like you said, and just been like, all right, I'm gonna get 2 here. Just send me over the money, and then we both get it. Versus trying to stand in line.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have stood in line for it. I would not. I would have advised people to probably do that versus trying to get it over bots, because they would have had more of a chance to get one.
Yeah.
But I still wouldn't have sat in that line.
Yeah.
Because that would have been a real line.
Yeah, it would have really.
Because you would have pulled up to the parking lot, saw the line, and you wouldn't even had to ask what anybody was there was for.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so I was just recently explaining that like what happened when I went to GameStop that morning, because they were completely expecting people to be just asking for PlayStation 5s. So I walked in and I immediately just made an announcement. I was like, I know y'all been hearing this all day. I am not looking for a PlayStation 5. And then they just started laughing because, I mean, they probably have been going through a rough patch that morning.
I know.
From 10 o'clock to whenever I was in there.
Phones ringing off the line. Do y'all have one?
Yeah.
Because I remember the day after the day you text me about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I called about 5 GameStop.
Yeah.
One of the GameStop girl greeted herself on the phone, said what location it was, what they had on sale. And we do not have no Xbox Series 1 or no PlayStation 5. It's all sold out.
Yeah.
I said, okay, thank you. She started laughing. It was the end of the conversation. I said, you already answered my question.
Yeah.
She said that's all she's been getting all day.
Yeah, because like, I mean, it's such a hot commodity.
It is.
Like the PlayStation, they've outdone themselves, both marketing and just performance and everything. Like they've done it. Mm-hmm. Like the just the reveal alone was the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
And then I think it was a few days after that they would push back Halo Infinite. I think it was.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that was the killer.
Not good. This is not looking good for them.
They needed to push it back, but the pushback just was like that. That was the killer.
Yeah, he's like, you can't afford to push back games.
Mm-hmm.
Not during a time like this. I can understand, like, you know, both systems have been out for a couple of years. The competition's died down, so like, you know, y'all can just bring out games for right now. But like, right now, your games are what is selling.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have any games, there's no reason for you to get it.
Yeah. So, okay. So, with the releases and everything, obviously, the prices have definitely shot up from people that are not the official retailers. Yeah. So,
I respect it. Get y'all's money. Because people are going to be desperate and wanting to buy.
That is. Yeah, I seen one girl on Instagram. She had 6 of them. And they was going $1,000 a piece. And I think it was just for the digital one. Mm-hmm. So that's $399. And I think, okay, so basically she's charging additional $600.
Yes.
She's really about to make a come up.
Yes.
Yeah, that's... I didn't expect the resale to go this crazy. Like, to go $500 over the original price. That's just kind of wild to me. And then...
Because it's just that worth it this time around.
That's true. And then obviously the Xbox isn't having that same impact, because I'm pretty sure I looked on eBay and I just saw Series X is going for the normal $500.
Yeah, but I don't think nobody's buying the Xbox.
Because that's why the PlayStations are going so high, because like everybody wants a PlayStation.
Yeah.
And nobody really wants an Xbox. Like, honestly, come Christmas time, if you got somebody, you said you were getting somebody at, like, you know, a gaming console, and in their head, they're probably thinking of PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
And you get them an Xbox, I'm sure they'd be like, you know, to a certain extent grateful, but then in the back of their head is like, really?
Yeah.
I mean, so little to you that you wanted to give an Xbox.
Yeah, it's just a clear difference. And I don't know, it's unreal to me. Like, I'm probably going to keep on checking on it just to see if they're going up any more than what they are. Yeah. But and I don't even see like a restock stopping the price because the restocks are just gonna go like that.
Yep.
And then it's just gonna go right back to the same thing.
Because they're gonna come down a little bit once they restock, because then they won't be able to like get anybody out of that money, because like they're the only ones that have it. Because like once the actual retailers have it again, they're gonna go like that, and then the prices are gonna skyrocket again.
Yeah, they're just gonna go right back. And
the only reason why they're able to skyrocket like that is because of how clear of a difference it is between the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox.
Yeah.
So the Xbox was on the same standing and had the an equivalent game lineup, they wouldn't be able to sell for that much.
True. And yeah. So okay. Now that we talked about that, what are expectations for the 5? Or expectations for the 5, or even if you wanted to talk about the Xbox, then that as well.
I would say that you should expect a better gaming experience from both of them. I don't want to downplay the Xbox Series X by no means, because it's more powerful. Mm-hmm. But their downside is them not having the games that really bring out its ability to be able to play these games and give you that better look and more frames at the same time, because that's essentially what you're paying for. But surprisingly, these consoles were cheaper than expected, especially what they said they were putting the equipment and the specs that they were putting into these two things. I expected them to be ranging up to almost what people are reselling them for, based off of what they put inside of them. But I was telling one of my friends this way early, way before the PlayStation 5 and Xbox were even talked about, before they dropped them and everything, that if they make a good system, that they them putting the money into the system to make it better and make it run smoother and faster and process and all these different things and make the games play better and look better, more frames and all of that stuff, they could still sell it for less, and that alone would get them more sales. Yeah. And that's exactly what the PlayStation's done. They took the money that they could have, because one of my friends was they should have put the money into the games. And I was like, they should have put the money into the system. And I was like, they put it enough into the system for you to be able to get more than you're getting from the PlayStation 4. But then they put enough money into the games to where, it evens out to where they really didn't have to market the PlayStation. No. They didn't really have to, have, some famous person playing it or talking it up before the PlayStation dropped. The PlayStation, they showed what it looked like, they showed the games that were coming out, and that was it, and that sold it. Yeah, that showcase that they had got everybody hyped. I remember when they showed that, when they first saw the Miles Morales, that was my trigger. I was like, yep, I'm switching consoles. Yep. And it was just simple as that. A game, just games immediately made my decision go one way, and I didn't even turn back after that. Of course, I wanted Xbox's game showcase to show something, guys. Maybe they might have something. No, their showcase was awful, and it was just. I'm not trying to rag on indie games or anything like that, but it's just PlayStation came out with some exclusive bangers, and then you have all the time in the world. Their showcase was probably a month or two after that, and then you're telling me you're gonna go out and show indie games rather than something big exclusives like that, because you can't compare with that. That is just, like I said, I'm not ragging on indie games, because indie games are good, but an indie game versus Miles Morales, that's just, you don't compare where you don't compete. And I'm just that's where it was just that's a wrap. It's the outcome of this now. Also, another expectation is expect for the PlayStations to just be off the shelves for a while. Yes, most definitely. They're just gonna come and go.
there's no. I don't even see the time frame that they'll just be at the point where you just walk in the store and you're like, oh, there's some PlayStations right there. No, I don't see that anytime soon.
I give it to next year or summer.
Maybe later than that.
I don't know.
Like,
this thing just, it's wild.
Like I'm on GameStop, Walmart, and Amazon just for a call, just for one of them, and I don't see it no time soon.
Yeah.
Especially in my price range.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially like actual retailers, because personally I don't trust getting it from secondhand unless it's somebody like I know and trust.
Yeah.
Because like there's a lot of people that are.
Yeah, I just seen one dude. He said he went to go pick up one and he filmed it. Dude put it in a box, but it was a box fan.
Oh man.
And I'm like, come on, man.
So
that's gonna be a big problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
For those of y'all that are buying secondhand, look for factory seals. If the factory seal ain't there, you don't need to give them no money.
And go with somebody else.
Yep.
And a gun and a baseball bat. And probably a pit bull.
And some black Air Force Ones.
Don't forget your mask, people.
Yeah, forget the mask. Yeah, I mean, for my expectation, obviously, PlayStation, I don't see PlayStation losing any ground in this battle. They started out way, way, way ahead. And I mean, Xbox can obviously, they have time that they can improve things, but they just can't. This is a start that can't be. Well, how am I trying to say this? The way this has started, there's no way to come back from that. And it's already been decided. Xbox can do whatever they can. And obviously not ragging on Xbox because I was there for almost a whole decade. But there's just no way to come back. And it's still going to be a good console if they take advantage of the power that it has. So, I mean, that's what I see from it.
Yeah, it was a decisive victory for PlayStation. Like because even like what you said is like they can't come back. It's like I honestly don't see them like they have to come out with like literally a game that is just so perfect that is exclusive only to the Xbox for them to make it back.
Yeah. I mean, then they still gotta deal with that controller because I don't care. That controller is the number one thing about that console for me.
Can I ask you a question about controller?
Yes.
Do it take batteries or recharges itself?
Oh, you can recharge it.
Okay, so they do got a card for it.
Uh-huh.
They do have a card for it.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just making sure.
Yeah.
So Xbox finally got the memo.
Oh wait, you're talking about Xbox or are you talking about PlayStation?
Does the Xbox still require batteries?
I think it still requires batteries.
I bought a whole pack the other day for mine. I bought a whole pack the other day. Now I still got like 2 packs at the house.
Yeah,
so they die quick. Even with the best batteries out there, you give about a good 2 weeks and it start dying.
That's why I invested in that battery pack. Because I was like, if I'm gonna play it, I'm just gonna have to get a battery pack. Like I would rather spend like $30 to get the battery pack and the charger cord than to spend more than $30 and constantly have because batteries aren't cheap.
No.
Like for a 4-pack, like if you're trying to get some good ones, you're probably paying like $8-9.
Yeah, them door sales.
Yeah.
And those are going quick because like
yeah,
you won't get a lot of life out of them.
Yeah, I don't know why they haven't just gone ahead and said, okay, we're going to do rechargeable batteries. I mean, with what that PlayStation controller has with it, and it's still, that's a PlayStation 5 controller has in it, it's still rechargeable. Like, I don't know, it's crazy. And with that controller, I don't feel like I need to get like another version. Like you know, with you got the original Xbox controller, and then you have the Elite controller.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I need to go out and get something like that with that new PlayStation controller. I feel like I just need that. Because
that's a good thing.
Yes. I don't feel like I have to go out and get a different one. Like I'm solid with just the controller I got with the console.
Okay.
Like That's the level that thing is at.
That's where it needs to be.
Exactly.
Like I said, the PlayStation, they've let itself speak for itself.
Yeah. There's nothing. I don't know. That the whole PlayStation 5 they didn't. Yeah, like you were saying, they didn't have to market it like that. Like the thing just spoke for itself. Like you knew what was going down when you saw it.
Yeah, that's the best way to make any product for you to not. The less you have to do to sell it, the better. Because like right now, you would literally have to sell an Xbox to somebody in comparison to a PlayStation. That's why they lost it.
Yeah. So, you got anything else?
I'm good.
You good? You got anything else?
I just need one.
Not on that one.
I just need one.
With
$200.
Expectations was the last thing that we had.
I thought we already covered it.
We were just talking about
that
expectations.
was it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about.
I just need one for $200.
What, a PlayStation 5?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm not giving y'all no more. Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be
might
possible.
You might be able to find one.
I'm gonna find one.
Well, not for
time
$200.
Yeah, not for $200.
Christmas time, somebody from be desperate in a minute.
I don't know. That's asking for a lot right there. That's even asking below retail.
Shit.
That's a wild claim right there. You can't expect $200.
You might be able to get a Series S for that much, but I don't know about a PlayStation 5. Not even the digital.
I feel like how this is going right now, Xbox gonna be passing out one free.
They're gonna have to. PlayStation gave like a bunch of like content creators and everything free ones.
Yeah, they did do that. Well, Xbox they did give some to like with the Series X and S too, but and then they had them show off everything with that, like the smart delivery and all that stuff. But honestly, now that I think about it, when they were showing off the whole smart delivery thing, I don't think there was actual like. At first, I thought, oh, that's a good concept, and now looking at having the 5. Pretty much every single one of the PlayStation 4 games are on the 5.
Yeah, because they had PlayStation Now.
Yeah.
And PlayStation Now technically was out before the Game Pass.
Yeah.
So like they were essentially they've been copying PlayStation.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Because PlayStation Now was out on the PlayStation 4 and it brought back a whole bunch of different games from PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3. But they were the only downside to it at first was that it was you were streaming the games. But now the way that they have it is just like downloading the game.
Okay.
And then the Xbox Game Pass came out and everybody was so hype over it and I was like, that's literally the same. It's like almost the same thing.
One thing I do with PlayStation that PlayStation has that Xbox should have is the cloud saves. That has saved my life. That is something like you don't really like think of how good that is until it saves you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, man.
Imagine getting on the way to a 99 overall and you don't have it saved on your cloud.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I save everything to the cloud for PlayStation now. I do not play games with that.
Okay.
Because they can like everything can get deleted like for those that suffer from the girlfriend that deletes your My Player. Everything can get deleted off of she can delete it off of the system. As long as you got it backed up on the cloud, you're straight. Because I genuinely feel sad for the people that I've seen, like, they're like, got their My Players deleted, just like, oh, that's so sad.
You seen that video too?
That's so,
I seen it.
Like, my heart hurts.
He was hurt though. That was the worst part. He was really hurt, boy. He's like, I know you didn't respond, shit, boy.
Because they when they do it, they don't understand like the amount of time that is put and effort that is put into it. It's like if you don't understand, don't touch it. Like if you don't know, don't touch it.
Yeah.
because like no person that's like put that much time and effort into something would literally do something like that to somebody that else that's put like
Yeah.
I would never. That's like spitting in somebody's face.
True. Very, yeah. That is a extremely good comparison.
It'd be different if like you didn't have to buy VC. People have spent thousands of dollars on VC just to get their stuff deleted.
Now, what's a VC?
Virtual currency.
Yeah.
Okay, see.
Basically, how you like upgrade your player. Basically, how you essentially buy anything in the game.
Yeah.
Okay, see, I didn't know that.
So yeah.
Because there's two ways you can earn VC. The extremely slow way by playing through the My Career.
Yeah.
The way it's intended to be played through.
That's what I probably do.
But they like, and that's, oh God, I just get so nitpicky with this game because it's so frustrating. They intentionally made it to where you get such a minuscule amount after playing. You can play 12-minute quarters on the highest level, and the highest difficulty to get the most amount, and it will not even be anywhere close to what you should be getting for the amount of time and effort that you put into the game.
Yeah.
Like if you come out of a 12-minute quarters on Hall of Fame, and all you get is like 5,000 to 10,000 VC, that is literally spitting in your face.
Because I think that's why my nephew always asks for them little cards and stuff.
Yeah.
And they say he get them, he be broke by like 5 minutes later. Like, he's buying on it.
You buying yourself your level up, your drip. You can't, you don't want to go out there and just like look at average on the my court. No, you can't do that.
See, I never get that far into some of them games. Now I feel like it's a whole game. Is a whole new level now.
It is.
Like you have drill.
Yeah, they have like official brands and stuff like that on their. What was it they recently had up there? I think it was Bape. I don't know. They got they've gone that deep. We're just actual brands.
Damn.
So.
I remember one of them games you was wearing a pair of Jordan. Everybody else was wearing a pair of Jordan, and you had to unlock Jordan.
Yeah. So I mean, y'all got anything else?
Nope.
Still looking for PlayStation 5 for $200.
It's not happening.
Still looking.
It's not happening.
Still looking. I'm still looking.
All right. I mean, I guess we're good to go.
See you next week.
All right. We'll catch y'all later.